Okay, I'm gonna record this and I'll send this out to you guys, okay? I'll send this out to you. Okay? So how we do identifications. And identify, the basic word of identification is to say, how does something work? What is the basic components? Where is this person from? It's basically a way to say, this is how we are. This is who we are. Okay? So not hard. This is not hard. This is pretty easy so the first step is really easy. Give the basic background. So I'm going to give you an example of one that we will really do in just a second. But let's just give the basic background. So number one, basic background. Number two, what is the relevant historical situation at the time? Okay? What is the relevant historical situation at the time? So, if I'm doing 9/11 as my identification, what did it look like? Okay? What was going on around the time that 9/11 happened, right? Okay? It was a terroristic attack, bad stuff, we don't like it. What is the relevant historical situation at the time? Number 3, how has this event, person, thing, whatever you're identifying, affected the world since its arrival? Okay? So this is the easy one. Let's do 9/11 together. No, let's actually do one that you have to do. That's a better idea. I don't know why this keeps coming up. Oh, that's not the right one. I don't know how to take this off. Gosh dang. There we go. That'll be better. I obviously got to get better at Zoom if we're gonna, guys. I've got to get back into class. It's just not good. I hate being distant. Oh my goodness, I hate being distant. I like to talk to you guys. I like to be aware of you. This is just bad news. This is just not good for anyone. So we're gonna do better, okay, guys? I'm gonna get in person as soon as I can. Okay, um, so what we're gonna do is my internet not working now? We're gonna do our internet. This is 1700 You guys are in room 103, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Here we'll go to either modules. We'll probably go to modules. We'll scroll down. Chapter 1. Where's identifications? Oh, right there. Chapter 1 identifications. Now again, only worth 5 points. Not gonna crush you. Overall, all seven of your identifications will only be worth 10% of your grade. So these aren't worth a whole lot. The reason why I do them is because it'll help you on your final. Okay? So when you do your final, these should be really easy for you. So let's do Columbian Exchange. That's a mandatory one. Everyone has to do that. Okay? Columbian Exchange. Oops. Okay. Again, not Times New Roman. How dare you? Lotto. What that is. Okay. Times New Roman. Columbian Exchange. What does, what is some of the basic background info for this, for the Columbian Exchange? Anybody want to take a shot at just kind of what was going on around the time? No, 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 that's number two. What was kind of the impact? What was the importance? Things like that. No, that's number three. Just give me some basic background information. What do we have? Miranda's group, my students at Snow. What are your guys' thoughts? What is the basic background to the Columbian Exchange? Kind of a tough one. Okay, I'm going to answer. When Columbus sailed, what did he sail in 1492?
No, the ocean blue.
That's right, and don't you forget it. If you want an A in this class, you've got to remember that saying. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Okay, very good. When Columbus sailed the ocean blue, is that not how you spell sailed? Let's check that out, guys. I sailed? Yeah, I am. It's not telling. It's not giving me it. Okay, sailed the ocean blue in 1492, comma, things were began to be transported across the new world and old world. Okay? So what does the new world and the old world look like? What is the new world and what is the old world? Anyone know?
Uh, the new world would be the Americas, and the old world would be Asia, Africa, Europe.
Yeah,
All.
primarily Europe. Europe is primarily who we talk about in the old world, but that is correct. I mean, is there anybody older than China? Freak, man, they've been around forever. Yeah, so the old world, the new world. So when Columbus moved back and forth, what is the major impetus? What is the major reason why Trump, oh dear, why Columbus sailed to America? It wasn't for religion. Everyone within the sound of my voice. It was not for religion. What was it for?
Spices?
Spices or what's that? The bigger, broader word. Spices, gold, silver,
Goods.
Trade.
trade. There we go. I heard it. Trade. Trade. Trade
Well,
was
yeah, at the time, wasn't like the Silk Road really expensive to get things across? They were trying to get by like,
yes, yes, and it took multiple months. Now keep in mind, Columbus also doesn't know how big the Pacific Ocean is. If Columbus sails across the sea, across the Atlantic, and there's no American continent over there, we don't hear about Columbus. He's eaten by his troops. You know what I mean? So luckily, he grossly underestimated the size of the planet. Okay, so that's good news that there was America there, but it was primarily for trade. Trade was experienced through both worlds. Okay, so like the Silk Road. Who was my friend that brought up the Silk Road?
Tommy.
Tommy, had a girl, Tommy. So we have that transported throughout. We want spices, we want gold, we want to make everyone rich. Now, of course, we're gonna tell everyone it's religion. We can't go over there and be like, hey, we're just gonna take all the resources from those people and they're gonna be destitute for years, hundreds of years. We can't say that, right? That doesn't look bad. Just like whenever we go into the Middle East, we can't be like, oil, yeah. We can't do that. We have to say, it's to bring democracy to the world. Doesn't that sound so much better than oil? Right, right. Of course, right? We can't say that. So it's called a pretext. We have to have a pretext, and that pretext is religion, right? We have to say religion is the reason. But oh, no, religion was part of the Columbus Exchange. Let's add that one. Religion was part of the exchange. What does that exchange look like? How was religion exchanged? And it was primarily exchanged one way.
Telling people about it.
Yeah, yeah, not just tell them about it. You sound like a Mormon missionary. What do these conquistadors do? They're not no Mormons.
Oh, that's right. They were conquistadors, weren't
They're
they?
conquistadors. That's who's spreading religion. And they're like, if you don't join my religion, by golly, I'm gonna stab you. So, I mean, if anybody, the big difference between the Mormon missionaries these days and those missionaries is I don't know of any Mormons stabbing people. By the way, I have to say this because people get mad at me for saying Mormon. I was at the Mexico City MTC and I said Mormon, and he was a former student. He was there as a missionary. He said, "Whoa, who gave you your M card?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" So I know some people have a hard time with the M word. The reason why we use it in a historical and sociological content is that Mormon is more encompassing of just the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right? So Mormon will be the broader term. If you really dislike the word Mormon, grow the freak out. Like it is the proper word to use in this class, okay? So sometimes we will refer to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but typically when we say the word Mormon, it encompasses a lot more, like the Rigdonites, the reorganized church, the Community of Christ is what it's called now. It encompasses more than just that. A lot of the fundamentalist religions that stemmed from Mormonism. So it just encompasses. So religion was part of the exchange, food, gold. Here's the important one. Pizza! Woo! Does anybody in here not like pizza? Come clean. Anybody in here not like pizza? Okay, because you're going to get an F if you don't. You've got to like pizza. I love pizza. Pizza
Oh
is.
yeah,
What was that, Crystalline? You don't like pizza?
love pizza.
Oh, good. Then you can be in this class. Pizza's my favorite. I'm also diabetic. So, not the best mixture between my diabetes and pizza. I have to hold myself to only two small pizzas or pieces, not pizzas, pieces every time I eat pizza because I'm diabetic. Okay, so food was exchanged, right? Where do tomatoes come from? Where do potatoes come from? Mash them, stick them in a stew. Everybody get my reference? Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. We love the Lord of the Rings in my house.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah,
Wasn't Columbus English, but he was representing the Spanish
right. He was actually Italian or Genoan. He was Italian, but he sailed for Spain. And we'll talk more about who asked this question. This was a good question.
Tommy.
Okay, Tommy, don't let me not answer that question in far further detail later in the semester, in
Okay.
like maybe next week. I don't want to, I want to give that the proper attention that deserves. And we're kind of just trying to move through this or not real quick, but we're trying to move through this. So I will get back to you, Tommy. Hold that question. Okay, food. We exchange food. Tomatoes come, potatoes come from the new world, ship it back to the old world. We have wheat come from the old world, ship it to the new world. So a lot of these things were able, like avocados. But here's the big one. Here's the one. So we have food, we have religion, we have gold, goods of all sort. What else was the major, it was probably the biggest thing that was transferred between the two worlds. Anyone know what that is?
Disease?
Who said it?
Disease?
Yeah, who said that?
Samantha?
Samantha, you get an A. Perfect. We know from the term guns, germs, and steel, disease is transferred across countries, across continents. Remember, the reason why the Europeans, write this the freak down. The reasons Europeans, do I have my dime counter? Did I tell you about my dime counter? I'll tell you in just a second. The reason why we have Europeans controlling the American continent is because Americans lived next to pig, cow, domesticated animals shit. They just lived by it. So over the years, we had the bubonic plague, we had smallpox, we had all these diseases that came about, and all the Europeans had grown up being that they had passed on the people that had lived from the plague, for instance. That gene was passed on to posterity, and so a lot of the people are they're able to avoid a lot of the disease. However, the New World, a lot of these, they're called Ameri Indians, Native Americans, and we will refer to them as Indians on occasion. Um, the reason why They were disease. The disease just some experts suggest 80 to 90% of people in the Latin American area died of disease. Holy cow, that's unreal, right? So that's disease. Oh, by the way, whenever I swear, I need someone to take down a little notch, and I owe my daughter 10 cents at the end of every semester, or at the end for every swear during the semester. Hell does not count. Damn, if I use it like really, like if I like get in Miranda's face and I'm like, damn it, Miranda, that would count. But if I was just like, oh, those damn Yankees or something like that, not a problem with that. Okay. Um, that's that. So who wants to keep track? Who wants to keep track of my swears? It's
I
got to
got
be
you.
someone that's pretty. Kira, you got it?
Bryson, yeah.
Oh, Bryson. Okay, you both can. Good, good, good. Okay, so all of those things are transferred. Disease, religion, food, gold, silver, those are all transferred. So what is so this is a lot, right? This is a lot. These should be fairly bulky. Also, I told you my TA's office hours, they all know how to do these really well. They really know what they're doing. So just listen to them. If you have any questions, you need to be on campus. I gave you my TA's office hours. Please feel free to go do that. Okay. Number two was the relevant historical situation. That's kind of what it was, right? People lived apart, and they were forced together, right? They were just pushed together. These people, different cultures. Not only is there different cultures between Amerindians and Europeans, but there's different culture between the Spanish, the Italians, the British, the Cherokee, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incans. Like whenever someone just cites like European culture or like Indian culture, that is highly mistaken. Okay. So people were forced together. That was the situation at the time. You will want to bulk that answer up. Okay. My first one, the Columbus sailed the ocean blue one, that the number one would probably be good enough for that. You probably wouldn't need to go into detail much more on number one, but number two you would need to go into that. So elaborate. I'll put elaborate instead of bold. Elaborate on that answer. Okay. Pizza. What was the so again? How did this person affect, or how did this event affect the world? Let's go to someone we haven't heard from yet. Is there someone that is there that hasn't talked a whole lot that would be willing to share? How has the Columbian Exchange forever affected the world? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys decide on that one, okay? This is not due this week. It is due next week, okay? So for everyone within the sound of my voice, I pushed it back a week. So that's all taken care of, okay, guys? Do you have any questions for me? I'm gonna my wife. I was planning on going back next week just because I was hating this method. It was so horrible. I was planning on going back in class next week, but my wife nixed that really hard. She said, "Scott, you can't do that." So I have to listen to my wife. You need an ally. You need a friend. Message me. As long as I have a 24-hour heads up, often less than that, I can arrange a time to meet with you, okay? I will do my best to meet with you. Of course, scheduling gets in the way, but just so you know. Okay. Any questions for me?
Where is your office for and like where's your TAs?
So my TAs will be sitting right outside my office. So remember, I will not be there for office hours, but my TAs will be there, and it's the social science building, 203B. Okay, so it's on the second floor. It's not a real big building, so it's pretty easy to find my office. Uh, 203B. And my TAs will be sitting out on a table just outside. How do I take off recording? There we go.